Ha ha! Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Right, I've just made a video, but in the previous video, if you've watched that, I did say that I would stop that video, make that one its own video, then make this one its own entirety of a video, because this is a special video, and then the next one is going to be about the chocolate I've got to show you, but you'll have to wait. I was going to maybe preview it and say to you, look out for the next video for this item, but I'll keep it a secret. Right, this one is unbelievable. It is slightly better than I thought it would be, and I wanted to get it no matter what, but I can't believe it. I want to go into few full detail about the place that I got it in, because I shouldn't really talk about that, but anyhow, it's in the British Heart Foundation. I'll just say no more about it than that, but the British Heart Foundation, and just to say as well that I got a discount on it, so that's it. Right, so in the British Heart Foundation today, £6. I cannot believe that. And obviously, like there's bits around the edges. If you're being really nitpicky, like that wee bit there, that wee bit there. And then inside, if you're being nitpicky, but I mean for £6 you can't complain. You wouldn't expect it to be absolutely perfect. If that was in pure, utter mint condition and it looked like no one's ever touched it in a record store, easily between £20 and £30 someone would put that price on. Yeah, easily. Or easily in like maybe even Oxfam, they would have that for a tenner, and I only got it for £6, but I got a bit of discount. But anyhow, that's irrelevant. And it comes out of the bottom as well, so that's why it's not in pure mint condition, because it wouldn't be £6 if it was in pure utter mint condition. And there is a few scratches on it, and maybe 2 songs for a couple of 30 seconds here and there, it scratches, but it plays brilliantly. You wouldn't really ken it's well, you would, because in fact, there has been new ones that I've gotten. If they're completely dusty and I forgot to clean them, then they do crackle a tiny bit. But apart from like 3 wee crackles, it's perfect, and it jumps on like one wee tiny bit of a song. I think it's the second last song on side 2. Aye, but that's the track list. Right, so anyhow, I just can't believe it. No matter what state that I paid for it in, I just had to get it because A, it's Queen, and B, if it was in a little bit better condition, then I would have listened to it a few times and then maybe looked it up to see how much it is. In fact, I've already done that today, but as I was saying, that if it was in proper pure mint condition, I would have actually sold it on after I've listened to it a few times, but I'm not going to, because it's not quite good to sell on because the scratches. You can see the scratches when you go like that and look at it in direct light, but I just can't believe it though. And if I say this correctly, but that's the vibe I got off it. Stone Cold Crazy sounds like the very start, like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest songs. Like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest have probably used this album, like that album, as inspiration and the new wave of British heavy metal. Aye. Yep, definitely. You can hear it in it. Like Stone Cold Crazy sounds like the very start of the the British, no, new wave of British heavy metal. Aye, like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and bands like that, through the very, very late 70s all the way through the 80s. Aye, so Stone Cold Crazy sounds like all the bands that came from 1978 to like 1990. Aye, Stone Cold Crazy sounds like all the bands put together. Aye. So, even though no one's probably really properly admitted it, that Stone Cold Crazy owes a lot to, aye, that era. Like, if you listen to Stone Cold Crazy and then you go and listen to Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, you can hear bits of Queen, Stone Cold Crazy in the songs because of the speed of the drums and the guitaring. Definitely, 100%. Right, Eddie Howe, I think... Well, what else can I say about this? Oh, in the bit where you keep the LP, there's lyrics, but I call them lyrics. I just thought to myself the day though that if I studied this hard, it would have been brilliant if one of the song titles on the back was spelt differently, or one of the credits of the song was credited to one of the band members that didn't actually write it, and I would have a seriously big gem on my hands. Because if you get an LP and you know exactly who wrote it, but it says someone else's name differently, that puts the value up a bit, like £20, £30, definitely. Or if like something's misspelt, like say Barry for some reason, don't know why, but if there's only one R in Barry and it's Barry Manilow or Barry White, then woof, right up. Aye, so if anything is like a different shade of colour, or if like a logo is slightly bigger or put to the side, that makes it go woof, right up the price. And if any song is credited to someone that didn't write it in any way, shape or form, that puts it up. Misspelling of any words of any denote puts it right up. And then obviously above all condition, if that was in pure utter mint condition, I wouldn't have a £6 LP in my hand. I would have at least between this £40 and £80. Aye, definitely £40 or £80 in my hand there, if that was in pure utter mint condition and it looked like in every single way that it's never been played before. That would be that. So that is what to look out for on any CD, cassette or LP. If anything is spelt wrong, looks different for the original, then oof. But and I think this would be worth, it definitely would be if that was first edition. Don't know if it is first edition, I don't know. But I've got an album, I can't remember which one off the top of my head, right? But the album was made in 1971, but on the LP it says 1972, so it's a year later edition, like a second edition, and that's cool. Aye. I've got a couple of like later editions, special editions, coloured editions and anniversary editions. So if I keep all the ones in pure mint condition or in the exact same condition I found them in, then cha-ching, in 30 years time, aye, it'll be my retirement fund. So as I said, look out for all that sort of stuff on anything, even on VHS tapes or even DVDs. Right, Eddie Howe. I will stop this, take a drink, compose myself and do the chocolate biscuits. They're stunning, man. Right, Eddie Howe. Peace, one love. And listen to real music.